welcome back to the podcast, and you're listening to the Traveling Pants of a Single Mom. And of course, I have my two co-hosts, Jason and Tasha. Say hey,
everybody.
What's going on?
And today we have a special guest, my aunt Claudette.
Hello.
Why you gonna look at the camera? So first, I want to start off by saying happy birthday to Tasha. She celebrated her birthday this weekend.
Thank you guys.
Right.
So what did you do for your birthday, girl?
I just took it easy.
Now from the beginning to the end.
Right.
That's another episode. I'm not telling y'all. They trying to know too much.
We
all in my
want to know the
business.
school.
But I enjoyed myself. I had a nice time on the ocean front. Just relaxed. Just embraced another year of God's love and mercy and grace upon my life. So just thankful for that.
You
Nice.
trying to leave yet?
I'm legal. Yes. I'm legal.
So 21?
21.
And Jason, what you had going on this week?
Work. That's all I do, work.
Guys,
So
we already
bored.
know he
So
has
bored.
no life.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
literally
bored.
the same situation each week.
Work, home, that's all I do.
And myself, I just have a lot of things happening. I'm just so happy. Just look out and stay tuned for some big things that's going to be happening in my life. I'm just super excited. What about you, Auntie Claudette? What you had going on this week? Nothing?
Just relax. The kids was away. The grandkids.
So you just looking it up.
Just relax.
And today we will be talking living with sickle cell. For those who don't know what sickle cell is, Jason gonna go ahead and break down that little definition.
Definition, sickle cell. What was the definition?
It's right here.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Alright, so sickle cell anemia is an inherited group of disorders of red blood cells contoured into the sickle cell shape. The cells die early, leaving a shortage of healthy red blood cells, and can block blood flow, causing pain.
Okay.
Alright, so I know I read the definition, but what is
The
layman's
layman's
term?
Right. What exactly does?
The sickle cell, basically, our red blood cells are not normal. Normal round. So it's shaped like a C. So which is like basically half of the cell. So we get less oxygen in our blood, and that causes a lot of problems.
Oh wow! Like what kind of problems do you face with?
We can go into a crisis where the blood they get sickled and they get sticky and they stick together, and then it forms a blood clot in our vein and ends up in the joint area, stuck in the joint area, and that's why we get more pain in our joints.
Oh wow!
Than anywhere else.
So I'm assuming that they get stuck together because they're in the shape of a C.
So that they hook.
Yeah,
So they hook
okay.
together, right?
So let me ask you this: what a crisis? What does that look like?
Painful. It's just a lot of pain, and sometimes we get swollen. The area gets swollen.
Yeah. So
go in depth, like what play how a crisis would happen for you.
I start feeling pain, and then the medicine I take at home, I'll take it, but it doesn't do anything, and then gradually over within a 30-minute period, the pain gets worse and worse and worse, and then next thing you know, I have to go to the hospital because I get to the point where I can't even walk.
Right.
So I have to go to the hospital. They gotta give me oxygen, hook me up with IV fluids, and give me pain medicine IV through the IV because giving me a pill won't work. So I have to get it through the IV or in the muscle.
Right.
The muscle.
Okay.
So what would you compare that pain to?
No, go ahead.
Taking a hammer and banging it constantly on your knees over and over and just won't stop. And you're not stopping. That's what,
So is sickle cell, because I think it's a blood disorder, correct?
Yeah.
Is it contagious?
No.
How?
You inherit it from your parents.
Oh, so what's the breakdown? So if
Both parents, for you to get the full-blown disease, you have to get it from both parents.
Okay.
But you get the trait from one parent. But both parents can give you the trait as well.
Right.
But you have a higher chance of getting the disease with both parents having the trait.
Okay. So if both parents have the trait, you can create a sickle baby.
Yes, it can.
Now, and then if both parents have the disease, you can create, and if one have the disease and the trait, you can create a sickle child.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So the prevention basically is that
blood test and talk about it when you start a relationship with someone. You talk about question their background,
right,
and see what they know. But the trait, like you could have the trait and they don't even know it's in their family because no significant symptom to the trait. So,
and that's facts right there, because when I had Sky, well, before Sky came in the picture, when I met her dad, I did bring up sickle cell because I do have the trait.
right.
And when I brought that to his attention, or even his family, they all, were saying like, high blood pressure and stuff like that run in the family, but the sickle cell, no. So when they tested me and realized I had the trait, they said they had to test him. But he was adamant, like, I don't have the trait, that don't run in my family.
Right.
But because I have the trait, they tested him and it came back that he had the trait. He had no clue.
Right.
So with that being said, what's the difference between the trait and the disease?
The trait don't really affect you because your blood cells are not sickle. You get the normal blood cell. It's like half. It's like getting half of something, basically, when you have the trait.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the full blown thing. Full thing gonna sickle you. You're gonna get the sickle shaped red blood cells.
Right.
So what you telling me is that true prevention. So if I know that somebody has the trait, I should not have a child with that individual.
If you have the trait.
It would be wise not to have a child.
But if he has the trait, if he don't have the trait, he good.
Yeah, if you don't have
If
the
I
trait,
don't have a trait,
and the girl have the trait, it's okay.
You good.
but my child have a trait.
Possibly. That's the only problem with
Oh
that.
wait, so if a parent say he don't have the trait, but the mom has the trait, it's still a possibility the
She
child
can
is
give
still.
the child the trait.
Oh wow!
But it would just be the trait. So the trait can continue on and on and on, and then that baby had the trait, and then that's where the sickle cell really gets continued. Is because sometimes you don't know, like I said, sometimes you don't know you have the trait, and then you have a baby with the trait, and then that baby grow up, get older. So you have to really educate your
yourself,
kids,
right?
basically. It's
And
all
that's
about education.
And that's why I wanted to have this episode so that we can like educate, because sickle cell is a predominantly Black or African American disease. So,
but it's not, because there's forms in India, Europe. I mean, like all different cultures, there's forms of sickle cell.
But that just means that those people have Black in them.
right.
Well, we all do.
But it was created in Africa.
Everybody's mixed up.
It was created in Africa, but Africa have a lot of diversity.
Right.
A lot of different cultures in Africa.
Right.
That's why there's so many different diversity of sickle cell. It's not a Black disease.
Well, other cultures don't want to know that though. They
Right.
don't want to know they got some Black in them.
They don't want to say, they don't want to say that, but it's not really a Black disease, because Africa is not built up of just Black people.
Right.
It's not. I mean, that's where it came from, because they were trying to prevent the
Well, no, I was going to ask.
they were trying to prevent malaria,
Okay.
and that's how sickle cell came about.
Oh.
Because I can't get malaria.
Because you have sickle cell.
Right.
Oh wow. So people who have sickle cell are not able to get. What about the trait? Or you don't know?
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
that's how sickle cell came about.
They were trying to find a cure for malaria.
So are you saying that sickle cell was created?
That's what I feel like.
Sickle
You
cell
feel
was
like
created.
It was created, yes.
Wow.
Like
To prevent malaria.
Wow.
So they created a disease to prevent another disease, which doesn't make any sense to me.
So, and this is what they're telling us.
And we suffer so much from this thing.
They created Ebola.
But they don't tell a lot of people.
Right.
that.
HIV.
AIDS
all
was
that.
they created.
Right.
All of that.
All of that.
Yeah.
All of them was created.
And of course, what they said before that came from Africa as well.
And there's a cure. There's a cure for every disease out there. But if they give up the cure, guess what?
The pharmaceutical companies
money.
will
go
lose
down.
money. Doctors
Right.
will lose money, and hospitals will lose money.
Right.
But there's a cure for every disease out there. Because I could get a cure right now. Like I just need a healthy sibling that match my blood, and we do the bone marrow transplant, and I'm cured. But they don't want to talk about that.
Right.
And they don't want to support it financially. It's expensive, and they're not going to want to support it financially because they think that it's a black disease, which, you know, it's not.
Tasha, you want to say something?
Well, I was going to ask, like, when you were saying, like, is there different, like, types?
Yes. It's just that SC and SS is the most common forms. But there's many different types of sickle cell. I can't name them because I know them, but I can't even pronounce them.
But the SC and the SS is the most common.
It's the most common form. Where the S is how you get SC or SS is the parent has the S gene. One has the S gene, one has the C gene, and that's how I get SC. And how you get SS is when both parents carry the SS gene.
Oh,
and that's how you get SS.
So how do you get, like, what is the test that is taken to decipher whether or not you have sickle cell?
It's a blood test.
Okay.
But how some people find out is their kid, like at a baby stage, they'll just be crying and you want, like, why they're crying for, and you try to hug them or comfort them and they cry more if you touch them. That's how I was diagnosed. Yeah, and my mom tried to hush me, and when she touched me, I screamed more. And part she touched, and she took me to the hospital, and they diagnosed me with. That's how I was diagnosed with.
Alright, so then that means your mother had sickle cell as well.
My mother is a carrier. Yes.
She has the trait.
She has the trait, and my father is a carrier. I have cousins that have it worse than me from my father's side.
I know my mom has the trait, but you were explaining one time to me that she had. I didn't even know there was
a form of the trait that's, I mean, it also can be fatal, you know, like sickle cell, where it affects your lungs and your eyes.
Oh, wow.
So that's why she had the detached retina, had to have that surgery, because it can detach your retina.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what are the treatments?
Just eat right, basically. Eat right. And then the other treatments they give us, like I said, when you go in a crisis, it's oxygen and fluids and pain medicine. That's it. There's really no treatment for sickle cell, you know, because not everybody take pain medicine at home because not everybody have chronic pain.
Okay.
They just go, like, I used to just go in hospital, come home, I'm fine. But then since I got older, I started having chronic pain. I have to take pain medicine.
As you age, it gets worse?
No, it all depends. Some people, when they get older, it gets better or lesser. Some people have it more when they were a kid. So it all depends on the person.
So it's
well, we do have to take folic acid though. Our body, we don't make folic acid, so we have to take that prescribed amount of folic acid. Our body don't produce it. That's why we never look our age, because folic acid has something to do with your aging process. And I found that out. That's why most sicklers, you know, they'll be like, oh, you 40? And they look like 20.
Right.
And I'll be like, oh, and that's why a lot of people can't tell my age because of that.
Wow. So I remember sometimes you would have crisis and you would like throwing up, vomiting. Is that a part of having a crisis, or like how does that
not necessarily. You know, like everybody's symptom is kind of somewhat different. Like you can't treat every sickler the same.
Oh, okay. Because
we all have different, you know, problems or, you know, different needs. I mean, we do still need that pain medicine and the IV fluid. That's it when you go in the hospital. But sometimes, like SS people, they need more care because they have more issues with their, like, kidney failure, organ failure.
Right.
They for some reason they have more problems with that, and that's why they die more. Right. Because they die of organ failure because of that, and they get more medications, which, you know, over the years it will deteriorate your organs, and the blood transfusions also deteriorate your organs, and they get a lot of that. Yeah. So that's as you bring that up, you know, rest in peace to my sister Samantha. She died at a young age of 33, September 1st, 2016, and she had the SS. Yes. And that's why she had. She had
congenital heart failure. So towards the end, she was like on oxygen. You know, her heart wasn't working at the full capacity. I remember a few weeks before she passed, she called and she told me, you know, Tosh, my heart is just working at like 30%. So I'm just letting you know. And I'm like, you know, that, you know, she's, you know, thinks she's good, but, you know, her heart is not working the same. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have this segment, you know, to educate people, you know, so that people don't have to go through the things that my aunt has to go through, my sister went through.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
how they gonna prevent it?
Right.
How do you prevent it?
prevention is no. The thing
I mean,
is,
if you have it, you have it.
If
right,
it's
but right, and I think like if you talk about it
if
more,
it's more education, if
right,
people are more educated about it, and if it's talked about more, like how people have classes on cancer
Right.
and all the AIDS and
So
awareness and all of that.
more awareness.
If they have
right.
more awareness on sickle cell, then it would be less of it.
Sicklers,
You know
because
what I mean? And more people would be aware of it, so
Yeah.
they wouldn't have as much
Mhm.
children if they know they're with someone that have the trait.
right.
So this Cancer Awareness Month, there's all these awareness months. When is Sickle Cell Awareness
Right.
Month?
It's September, and actually,
September.
my sister
And it's
died that day, the first day of Sickle Cell Awareness Day,
Wow.
September 1st. So yeah, September is the Sickle Cell Awareness Month.
Wow.
So that's why we need to kind of like step up and form groups, form things to put the word out there. Again, it can't be prevented once you have it, but just for people to be aware, like, for example, if you know somebody, if you find out somebody has AIDS, you're not going to put yourself in a predicament to be with that person.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So if you know that you have the trait or you have the disease, when you're out there mingling and meeting people, those are things that, you know what I'm
Bring
saying,
up.
you could bring up.
Mhm.
Like, well, do you have, and even if you decide to go forward with the relationship, you know what the
Have them tested, because they could
Mhm.
have the trait in their family like forever
Mhm.
and don't know they have the trait in their family. So they don't say, no, we don't have no trait, we don't have no
Right.
sickle cell in our family. And that happens a lot. And I think that's part of why so many more kids are being born with sickle cell, is because of that. They don't know, they're not aware that they have the trait in their family, because there's no symptom to tell you that. You have to get a blood test in order to know that.
Wow. So why do you think it's a lack of research? Like, you
Because
know,
they consider it a black disease, and black people don't give us as much. We just don't get as much talk. Like, they should talk about it
The
more.
support.
But
The
we
support is
don't
not
get
there.
that.
Right.
Yeah, we don't get that. Even when I'm in the hospital, I don't get that support from some of the nurses, because they think I'm a drug addict and I'm just there to get drugs. So,
So
but if
we
I had
saw-
cancer,
Yeah.
they wouldn't think that. They would
treat you
me up,
right away.
load me up on
Right.
that drugs.
Yeah.
They would load me up till I'm like, don't even feel nothing.
So when you're in the hospital, what is your experience like? How do they treat you?
Some nurses are nice, but for the most part, sometimes they take forever to come with my medicine, and I try to call like 30 minutes or so before, because the pain comes on. The pain medicine doesn't last for the 3 hours
Right.
that the doctor prescribed it for. So I start being in pain. Sometimes 2 hours after I get the medicine, it start wearing off, and I'll wait the next 30 minutes and to call the nurse. Sometimes they'll take forever to come. I have to keep pushing the button. And then when they come in with an attitude,
Right.
and yeah.
Yeah, because they have a stigma that a lot of sickle cell patients are addicted to the drugs.
Right.
So
But you can't blame us if we're addicted, because that's our comfort. We feel so much pain that is our comfort. If we are addicted to it, how you gonna blame us? I mean, we're suffering.
right.
And then, like sometimes they let us go in the ER, they'll let us suffer for so long before we get any pain medicine.
You know, I think it's not more so that the addiction, but like you had mentioned to me once before, is about the tolerance too.
Right.
You're on these
We
drugs for
require a
so
higher
long.
dose. Right. We require a higher dose,
Right.
and they have a problem with that, thinking that, that could knock a cow out. And, I'm on it my whole life, so I build up a tolerance. So I'm going to need more medicine than a normal person. Because I build up all of us build up that tolerance.
Now, I worked in hospitals for years, and I've met so many people who are med seeking, right? So they fake a lot to trying to get that medicine because they really want that high. Ain't nothing wrong, but they're trying to get that high. And sometimes you don't know who's trying to get that, and who's not.
But I think sometimes you can kind of tell, especially if you've been a nurse, and especially if that patient is someone that comes often, and you see this patient, you know, every now and then you see this patient, or you'll deal with that patient before, you kind of can tell.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'm not saying you can tell for everybody, but like I said, if you've been treating that patient and that's where they come all the time, and it's on their record, you know, a lot of stuff is on their record that you could see.
But I guess at the end of the day,
they just put that stigma on us and just put us in this one little box and keep us there. They don't try to work with each patient individually and treat us as individuals. They just put us in this one box, and that's that.
What about
and that's it?
sickle cell in men?
Yes, men have it a little harder than us because they have this where their penis. They get a crisis literally in their penis.
Wait.
And
Come again.
It stays hard. And it's real painful. You know,
that's
thinking
not a good thing?
you think that, you're in a crisis. Why are you hard when you're in a crisis? No.
Walk around
It's painful. It's like so it is so painful for them. No, it is so painful.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like blue balls all day.
You can't. It's worse than that.
So how long does it stay
It can
erect?
last anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So they have it a little bit harder than us. And there's a name for it. There's an actual name for it. Let me.
I never heard of it before.
Yes. Save it.
Tosh, you good with coming up with the names, boy.
Stifferitis.
I gotta ask my mom about that.
Stop it.
She's a nurse.
Really?
Let me tell you what the name is. But yeah, so they have it a little harder than us with that part. Yeah.
Wow.
But
But that might be good for the other
No,
half.
because you can't touch. You can't touch.
Oh, they
it.
can't use it?
can't.
Oh, dang.
No.
That's a waste of
See, she just said it's painful. You thinking pleasure? It's
You can't
painful.
even they can't. Okay. Can you pronounce it's prior prism.
Let me see. Let's get the
Priapism. That's what it is. Yeah.
Priapism?
Yes.
So we would have said.
Priapism is a condition that causes persistent and sometimes painful erections. This is when the erection lasts for hours, for 4 hours or more without sexual stimulation.
Right. And it's extremely painful. I mean, it's like you get a crisis in the same crisis I get in my leg. Like a hammer is hitting me. It's the same thing they're feeling in that area. That's
But they don't get like joint pains.
No,
like
they do. But that's just an extra part of the body that also gets the crisis as well. So they have to.
That makes sense.
Go through
They
that.
got blood in that.
Yeah,
That
the
blood
circulation,
pressure.
right? Yeah.
So that'll be a part of it.
Wow.
Very painful. Yeah.
You thinking about it?
I'm just thinking about it.
It can cause them to be sterile too. If they have it a lot, it can cause them to be sterile. So it's really bad for them.
Wow.
Yeah. Especially if they have the.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that is horrible.
Yeah. So the sickle cell is not any joke, nothing to joke about. And
And it's
just
just
don't take it serious.
right.
They just don't take it serious.
So if you had,
It's serious as cancer,
If
or
you
even
had a
worse than
message-
cancer.
like, to just pass out to everyone, what would that message be like? If you had to basically speak like be a spokesperson
Yeah.
for sickle cell, what
What
would
would
that
that be?
message be?
Wait,
So if you had to be like a spokesperson for sickle cell to get the message out there, what would your main message be to the people? Like to get everyone to understand
to
how
understand
serious
this how
sickle
serious
cell
it is.
is, right?
It's like donate, like be more, like donate more, be more into learning about it, try to learn more about it, and pass the word on. And like it would be good if you could get more donations at the Sickle Cell Foundation, and they really use it to do research because there's a cure. I could get a bone marrow transplant from a healthy sibling, and I could be cured.
But
It used to be
again,
fatal back in the day. When they just started out with this It used to be fatal because they was doing it like they were doing chemo. They used to put us on chemo first to strengthen. I don't know what they were trying to strengthen, but because they're already weak, and that's why they were dying. It was because of the chemo.
But
chemo
they found out now.
Right, they found out now that they don't have to do that anymore. They could just go straight to the somebody that matches you, that's a healthy sibling, and get their bone marrow and do a bone marrow transplant without going through all that. They used to do all this stuff to prepare your body for it back in the day, and that's why it was so fatal back then.
What about stem cells? Can stem cells?
Yes, they're doing research on that as well, and that's something that they need to do more research on, so they could have the proper,
Right. So basically, with more research, with more awareness.
That's it. That would be my message: is more research. The more you can know, get more cure. More cure that's healthy for us.
Right.
And more cure. That's because back in the day as well, you have to be younger to get this. For you to even live, you have to be younger, like under 18, to get that transplant. Because if you do it over that age, over 18, it's like it's fatal.
Right.
And they would not do it unless that person like lived in the hospital.
Right.
Like, constantly. That's the only way they would try it. But if they do more research, then I'm 51, like, I could go do it and don't have to worry about dying.
Right.
Because from the transplant.
But you made a good point, because how they have in the hospital, I think they have like disease and stuff kind of like grouped. So if you have you're on a certain floor or whatever, and sickle cell is treated with the cancer patient.
Yes.
Like I remember when my sister was, going to the hospital, she was on the cancer floor.
Yeah.
She would talk about, because she was in the hospital so much, she would tell me about her friends that were in the hospital, and a lot of them were between cancer or sickle cell patients, but
and
they were on the
same
same
treatment.
They were on the
minus
same
the
floor.
chemo. Yes. Same treatment minus chemo, but we get the discrimination that we're drug addicts and we get less pain medication and all that stuff when we're feeling more pain.
Right.
I think sickle cell, to be honest, I think sickle cell is more painful than cancer. I mean, cancer is painful when it gets up to that point, but not all the time.
Right.
Because I've seen people go through chemo and then go get their chemo and go to work. So cancer, sickle cell, I think is more painful than cancer. Sickle cell is more painful than cancer.
So at what age, like when you were younger, like your 20s and stuff like that, did you, because I know now you don't work due to complications of sickle cell, but when you were like in your 20s and stuff like that, was it easier for you to have like a regular life?
Yeah, because I didn't have as much crisis, and I was on no medications but my folic acid, and that was it.
Wow.
So, because the medication deteriorates your body over a while and make you get weaker as well. So, even though I eat healthy. I don't eat red meat anymore, and I stopped eating pork from high school. And that helped a lot. That helps a lot.
Does it cause any infertility issues?
No, not that I've ever heard of. It's just that they say that if you get pregnant and have sickle cell, it could kill you. Because having a baby takes so much out of you. Being pregnant, but I've seen a lot of sicklers that have sicker than me that have kids and can't raise them because they live in the hospital.
Right.
But they have them. But yeah.
Have you come across any cases of people who once had sickle cell and now they do not?
No, I just read about it.
Right.
I've only read about it. I've never actually met someone
who had
But those cases are out there.
Yes. There are people out there that had sickle cell and got cured.
And what are they saying? They did it through bone marrow transplant?
They did the bone marrow transplant. Yes.
What about?
That's how I found out about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are there any you had asked one time like the natural
natural remedies.
Right.
The bushman remedies and all that.
Right, the bush stuff that the islands people have. Yeah. But I've never tried it. But yeah, they said there's remedies out here that can help.
They don't cancer. They give
Right.
marijuana to cancer patients.
Marijuana is one thing that we can try, and I know there's a few. As a matter of fact, they're thinking of bringing it into the hospitals for sickle cancer patient.
Oh.
So yeah.
Like if they did that, do you know like what form? Do they do like IV it?
Yeah, that I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know that part.
So
I never researched. I know you don't have to smoke it anymore.
Right. Yeah, because I know they make it in tea.
You could take a pill.
They have edibles.
Yeah.
They have all kinds of things. Yeah.
Goats.
Cooked with butter,
Butter.
yes, that type of stuff.
Candy.
Popcorn.
You know, popcorn.
Yes,
Wow.
they have popcorn. You know, like the caramel popcorn.
Mhm.
Yeah, they dip it
There.
in.
Oh wow, they ain't playing out here in these city streets.
Mhm.
But I mean, God created it.
Right.
That's
Natural.
something that God created. In Genesis, it said that He created every green leaf
Yeah, exactly.
was for the healing of the nation.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That's a green leaf He created, but we demonize it.
Right.
Mhm.
I
We
agree.
legalize it. We're in the prohibition era of
Mhm.
the ganja leaf, man.
Yes, I think marijuana will help us a lot. It's not going to cure us, but it will help us
Yeah.
through the symptoms that we have.
I
And we
believe so.
won't need as much blood transfusions, as much narcotic.
Right.
But,
Yeah, because that stuff tear you down after a while, like you
Yes.
said. Like you said the aspirin. If you take that a lot, it what?
That kills
Not
your
aspirin,
kidneys.
acetaminophen,
Oh, okay.
Tylenol.
All
Yeah.
that.
It will kill your liver like in months.
Yeah.
Get that down.
Wow.
See?
But they
don't-
pump you with it though,
I
right?
tried to.
Wow.
But you have to know yourself and do research, because they used to give me medicine that I don't need. And I did my research and I was like, okay, well, this is what I need. This is what I'm going to take.
Mm-hmm.
And that. And I don't want that. I don't want that, and that. They even put me on antidepressants.
Wow.
And they were, the one time they put me on antidepressants, and when I went in the hospital, I went through a crisis. And because the doctor had put me on it, they decided they need to keep me on it while I'm in the hospital. So whatever medicine you take at home, they keep you on it while you're in the hospital so you don't like miss a dose.
Right.
So they had me on it, and then when I went in the hospital, if you take over 100 milligrams a day, it could cause a heart attack.
Oh wow.
And they were giving me over that. So when the nurse came with that dose that went over that, I said, why are you giving me this? She said, because it was prescribed for you. I said, I got the paper and I said, read this. I
Right.
had it printed out. I was ready waiting for her. I said, read this. So why are you giving it to me? She's like, I don't know. They said that I'm supposed to give it to you. I said, well, that's what it does. So you gonna give me a heart attack? So she took it back.
Yeah,
You
you
have
have
to
to-
educate yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Because what they do is when we refuse certain medications, they try to say we drug addicts and we want to refuse this, refuse that, but we don't refuse the pain medicine. So I wanted to let her know I'm not refusing the medicine. It's that you're giving me way over the dose I'm supposed to get in one day.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not, you're going to give me a heart attack.
Right. You have to be very mindful.
Yeah. So you have to really know yourself and know what your body can take, because not everything the doctor said is what you need.
Right.
Right. Right.
And a lot of people don't know that they have their rights. You
Right.
have rights. You have rights to say, I don't want to see this doctor
Right.
anymore. You have rights to say, I don't want to see this nurse anymore because she did this or she treated me any form of way.
Right.
You don't have to have that nurse to come in your room. That's your right. So, yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's good for us to know all this information because I know, Tasha, you were saying you really don't know anything
Right.
about sickle cell.
Right. I really didn't know. I've heard of it twice in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Once my sister, her friend when we were younger,
Mm-hmm.
had it. She actually passed away at a young age from it.
Wow.
And my children's grandmother from the dad's side, actually, I'm not sure if she actually carries the trait or has the actual disease, but I know she is one of them.
Right.
And so she gets where she has to take, different shots for her immune system. There's times that she said anyone's sick or anything like that, she can't be around you because she
Right.
said she'll get,
Her immune
even more
system.
right. And so, but now that I'm getting this information, and I thank you for sharing this information with us because that'll make me more aware and want to educate myself on it as well and ask questions. Because I know that once I heard about it with my kid's grandmother, and I know that it was like, well, let me ask. My kids were born. That was one of the first things I did ask. Like, do my kids? I know their grandmother has it, but is that something I should be concerned about? And they told me no.
Right.
And so, that's something I'm going to look into for myself,
Right.
just to make sure, because if they do carry the trait, or for whatever reason, maybe it could be passed down.
Right,
That's something
exactly.
that could prevent.
Just even if, because obviously at this point your children are older, so obviously they don't have the disease.
Mm-hmm.
But for them to know that they, whether or not they have the trait,
Right.
is very important, because again, like my aunt said, that's how it continues. If your kids have the trait and then they have kids with somebody that have the trait,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So for them to know,
Right.
for them to get tested, if you have any, doubt, like, okay, well, it's in the family or something like that, it's best to get them tested for their future. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy. Like, when I found out that Jason had the trait, like I said, up front, he had no clue. I'm talking about Sky Dad.
I can't.
I can't. When Sky's dad, and it was also Jason, found out he had the trait, at that point, it was like hectic. The doctors, now they started to scramble. And we waited too long to get, he waited, by the time they said, okay, you have the trait, let's test him, I was like 7 months pregnant. Because, like, if you have a baby that, might be being born deformed or something going on, you have the option to abort. So with sickle cell, I guess if both parties have the trait and the baby has, they can do the amniotic, check the fluid too. Because they gave me that option as well, but because I was so far along, it would have hurt. The chances of hurting the baby was
Too
high because I was so far along. But at this point, there was nothing that we could have done to prevent. I think.
How'd you feel?
I was scared because actually I did have like a week or 2 weeks window to decide if I wanted to take the amniotic for them to test it, or if I want to go forward with the pregnancy. By this point, I'm full term, baby moving and everything. You know what I'm saying? But it was way too late for me to make that decision. But when I found out that he had the trait and I had the trait, and to know what my aunt went through, to see what my sister was going through, it was the scariest feeling in the world to know that it's a possibility that my daughter could be born with that disease. You know what I'm saying? It was so scary. And from the minute they told me that he had the trait, that was the only thing I was so scared about it, like the remainder of my pregnancy. Because again, if you don't, for someone who don't know what a sickler has to go through, you wouldn't, like people who didn't know, and I would talk about it, they didn't know what the big deal was. But to have seen my sister suffer, to see my aunt suffer with that disease, it was like, oh my God, and then it's your child, and you can't do nothing really to comfort them. And I think, and I think they said that
all the IVs
at 6 months, around 6 months, is when you will see the effects of the sickle cell in that child.
Right.
When she was born, they did tests, and she has the trait. So she seems to be pretty healthy. I have the trait. It only affects me when it's too cold, like if it's the AC, and it's mainly AC cold. Like that AC cold, it gives me like discomfort in my joints.
It's closed in. That's
right, but like if I'm like when I lived in Jersey,
it's different.
It was different.
Yeah.
But like with the AC cold, it gives me discomfort in my joints and stuff like that. But that's the only thing that I faced with the trait.
Right.
But I was so happy that she didn't have the disease. I was like, thank you, Jesus, because
so now she's gonna have to be careful.
Right. So now with Sky, I'm gonna have to educate her.
And I did talk to her about it when she had Eli.
So yeah. So I'm gonna have to educate her that when she start dating, she definitely have to, be aware that if she has a trait,
by then sickle cell will be out there more.
Right.
So what
on
about
TV.
Taleen?
You know what? Taleen, I think that because by this point, Taleen was born in 03. So by this point, I think they were testing babies, every child, for it.
Right.
But I don't remember. I have to get Taleen. I don't think Taleen has the trait though. I don't think Taleen has the trait, but Sky definitely does. When I say I was waiting by the phone for a week, I think it took, they do a panel of tests.
Right.
Waiting for that call. And when they finally called, baby, and they said she had to trade, I was like, thank you, Jesus. I can't. I don't think I can. That's too much. That's too much. Yeah. So this is our segment. I want to thank you, Auntie Claudette, for coming in and sharing your story, educating the world.
You're welcome. And I hope the world, we get around to the world.
And you want to tell about your YouTube channel? What's the name of your YouTube channel? You don't do videos no more on it? Oh, okay. Anybody y'all got your Black Home Business?
Yes, I do have.
You have business?
Mine's on my phone.
Okay. Well, my shout out, I did already did a shout out for her, but I do want to also spread the information on the podcast. My friend, so for those who live in the tri-state area, the Allison Owusu Experience Dance Company, they're having their gala April 14th, 2018, obviously. April 14th, they're having a gala in New Jersey. I will put her handles up so that you can get directly to her page. And if you are not in the tri-state area, but you want to donate to the cause, you can go ahead and click the link to go ahead and get to her information.
Okay. And I have Miss Angela Hicks, that's ANGLLA Hicks, and she owns the women's clothing store out in Winter Haven, Florida, if you're located in Florida. That's on 1402 1st Street North, Winter Haven. And she's on Instagram also as FineWine37. So definitely has some good, it's like a nice little boutique, some good clothing there. Very helpful lady, willing to help you if you have like, an event that you need to go to or whatever. She's willing to help you get your outfit put together. I mean, I love this lady. I've known her for a while. So definitely hit her up. That's FineWine37 or Angela Hicks, and that's the women's clothing store in Winter Haven, Florida.
Nice.
I want to shout out Mo Melanin. If you go on Instagram and check out Mo Melanin, MoeMelinin, Mo Melanin. I got spelled with my hand. But anyone that knows me knows that I feel like it's important for us to see images that look like ourselves. I remember coming up in school, all the girls had what y'all used to have Lisa Frank. You remember that, right? We dating ourselves, yo. But I thought you was 21 though. She lied. So Lisa, so school supplies. Mo Melanin makes school supplies like notebooks and everything, with black faces. You know what I'm saying? Black students, black children, black doctors, black lawyers, black teachers. They have pencils, crayons, all of that. But everything is geared towards black people. You know what I'm saying? I think that's very important for us to see us looking successful, and especially from a young age. So they make school supplies geared towards us. Mo Melanin on Instagram. Go check them out.
That's what's up. So guys, if you guys have any insight about sickle cell, you have any questions, you have any inside scoop, go ahead and email us at thetravelingpants@gmail.com or on Instagram, the Traveling Pants of a Single Mom. And you have something else to say? You look like
I think I spelled melanin wrong. MELANIN. Mo Melanin.
Okay.
My bad.
We got that. So thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. Hopefully this is our first video, so we're going to try to transition to have video with the audio now, so you guys can kind of get more inside scoop. So thanks so much for listening. Thanks for coming in, Auntie Claudette.
Welcome.
And that's a wrap, y'all.
Peace. Wrap.
Hey.
So how you feel like the
It's just too hard. How do you think you set up?